Hey, what's up guys, how you all doing? I'm Paul the Tech Giant and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to be telling you what I believe are the worst things about this 65-inch Samsung S90F OLED. Now before you all start kicking off that I'm bashing this TV, don't worry, I've already done a best things about it video, and if you want to see that, I'll put a link to that in the description. But I feel it's only fair that I tell you both the pros and the cons of any TV that I test out. So once you've watched this video, go and check out my best things about it video too, and then you can make up your own mind if this TV is the one for you. And if you feel that it is, then please consider making that TV purchase from the UK electrical retailer Tizen, who are kind enough to send over this TV for testing. Now if you do buy it from Tizen, you get yourself free delivery, free 5-year warranty, they have interest-free options available and great customer service. Plus you'll be supporting the company that helps support the channel, and most importantly, you'll be getting a great TV at a great price. So please go and check out the link to Tizen and the Samsung S90F OLED in the description. Okie dokie, let's crack on then, and this is in no particular order, but the first worst thing about this TV is the pedestal stand. Now I did include this in my best things about it video because of its very narrow footprint, but the downside is with it, it is falling apart my hands by the look of it. But no, that's not the issue, it's the fact that it is all plastic. So yeah, that is a bit of a shame, and a few people have complained to me about this in the comments section of my unboxing video. And yes, this TV has an amazing design, just check out how thin it is, but it's let down by this plastic stand. For a few quid extra, they could have made it all metal, and that would have just really finished off this TV and made it proper top tier. But yeah, the plastic stand just lets it down. It does look metal on the top, but no, it is all plastic. So that is why that is the first worst thing about this TV. Now this next worst thing is something that can affect all OLED TVs, but I feel I should mention it in this video for any unsuspecting customers, and that is the potential risk of burning. So yes, as I said, all OLED TVs potentially could suffer from burning, and if you don't know what burning is, well, let's just say you are watching something like one of your sports channels and it's got a channel logo up in the corner, and you were to watch that hour after hour, day after day, and you had that same logo stuck up in the corner. After long enough, if you were then to go and maybe just change the channel for a change, you may notice there is actually an impression left of that channel logo up in that corner, and that then could potentially stay there forever, effectively ruining the display. Now don't get me wrong, these TVs have a lot of measures to protect themselves from getting burning. But I do feel that I should mention it because for people say like gamers as well, that could be an issue with heads-up displays. But it is very rare that that will happen in this day and age. So all I would say is take your viewing habits into consideration, and could that potential risk affect your TV? Now this next worst thing is only a very minor gripe, but believe it or not, there are people out there who actually refuse to buy the TV for this very reason. They're over the top, but each to their own and all that, and that reason is the logo set off to one side. Yes, if we go in a little bit closer, we can see we have this Samsung logo just there on this bit sticking down. And it's just a bit annoying the fact that it's set off to one side and not in the centre of the TV like we see on many others. Now whilst most people won't rule out a whole TV because of something like that, it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back if there are other gripes that you have with this TV. And hey, you never know, someone from Samsung may be watching and they may take on board my idea of actually putting it in the middle where most people wouldn't complain about it. So that is the next worst thing about this TV. Oh, and just check out those black levels, amazing. And talking of black levels, that brings us on to our next worst thing about this TV, and that is that the out-of-the-box settings often crushes the black levels. So if you go to demo this TV in store, you may find that the picture isn't quite as good as what it can be. And you'll find that when you get the TV home, you will have to do a bit of fiddling with the settings to get the very best out of this TV. But trust me, when you have adjusted the settings, the image that this TV can produce is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, many other manufacturers' preset settings are better from out of the box, where this it's a bit hard to show on camera, but certain areas like there and those trees, we lose detail because of those crushed black levels. Again, not the biggest deal in the world because this can be adjusted out with the settings, but on first glance you may think that the TV's image isn't as amazing as its rivals, when in fact there's a good chance it's probably even better. So that is the next worst thing about this TV. Now, this next worst thing is something that could be down to personal preference, and I'm not talking about Ant and Dec either, and that is the operating system. Yes, this Samsung runs the Tizen operating system, and I've got to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of it myself. It's a bit too overloaded with recommendations and things like that, and I'm not a massive fan of the menu layout either. And whilst it is nice and snappy, I feel that other operating systems do a far better job. And let's be honest, the operating system is something that you're going to have to interact with all the time. So if you're not a fan of Tizen, then you may not be a fan of this TV. Just like I'm not a fan of Ant and Dec. Now, this next niggle is one that I know puts a lot of people off Samsung TVs, and that is that it doesn't support Dolby Vision. So yeah, if you've got a nice collection built up of Dolby Vision content, like so, then you are well out of luck with this TV. So yes, whilst this TV does support HLG, HDR, HDR10+, when it comes to Dolby Vision, Samsung are having none of it. And from my experience, Dolby Vision is the far superior HDR format. And it is such a shame because it is such a beautiful TV and it's not able to take advantage of Dolby Vision content. So many people come to me saying that they will not buy a Samsung TV because it doesn't support Dolby Vision. So Samsung, come on, what are you doing? Charge us just a few more pounds on top of the retail price so we can have Dolby Vision support. And please let me know in the comments section, would it put you off buying this TV? And would you be willing to pay just a few pounds more to have that Dolby Vision support? On to the final worst thing now then, and it's actually something that I praised in my unboxing video, and that is the sound. Now overall, the sound quality is really good, but unfortunately, when you turn the volume up to high levels, the bass can distort somewhat. So you end up with a sound that doesn't sound so great. And whilst most people aren't going to turn their TV up as loud as this, if you are the sort of person who wants to play things back loud, then you may be a little bit disappointed. And as I turn that down, that wraps up the last worst thing about this TV. And there we have it then, guys. Now don't forget, I've also done that best things about it video, and I'll put a link to that in the description. But if you have enjoyed today's video, then do us a favour and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and hopefully I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Bye for now.